least not the ones you knew.
Right. See, Mike's.
Did they live here in San Luis? Is that where they were from, or?
Cayucas, basically.
Oh, who is they?
The Filiponis, generally the.
Yeah, there was a Filiponi ranch just north of Cayucas, barely north of Cayucas. In fact, I think it must have been part of the Mexican San Geronimo
land grant
that was granted to my great-great-great-grandfather.
Okay, so they ended up with, probably bought part of the ranch.
Undoubtedly.
So therefore, Mike and Enos probably grew up next door to each other.
Jan, I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea where they met.
Okay.
Do not know. But
how many brothers were there that said no, I won't forget that? So there was one that said yes.
Natalie,
was there 2 or 3?
oh, that was Robert Filipponi.
And how many in the Filipponi family? You know how many brothers or sisters?
Oh my!
It was like 18 or something.
Jan, what did you say?
Like 18 siblings, 16. There was a huge amount, I thought.
She was having babies for 20 years.
What was that?
She was having babies for 20 years.
Oh, Mrs. Filipponi?
Yes, the oldest to the youngest.
And she used to live on Bouchon Street. When she left the ranch, she had a small car. Yeah, I guess I never knew her, never saw her.
Yeah, no, she had a couple twins, and I think I was amazed that more didn't die as babies, because it's common for them to die, but there was at least, yeah, about 18.
That's quite a family, isn't it?
Yep. Having 18 brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Right.
But she had to do diapers for 20 years. I just couldn't imagine that.
Cloth diapers.
Cloth diapers for 20 years.
So
with no washing machine. No nothing. Yeah.
So
it's a little hard.
Might be it. Did you get to know him much?
He was quiet. The Vians, they were quiet people. They didn't go out carousing, going to the bars or that type of, they just weren't like that at all. And of course they lived on Rancho San Geronimo. Now, maybe I should have brought the picture of the adobe there with everybody listed. You have that, Jan,
yes,
somewhere.
I might even have it here.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Yeah. And of course my father, having been the youngest one in this family, unfortunately, we siblings did not ask questions when we should have, but we didn't.
Did you ever hear them talk about their parents?
Here, not really. Oh yeah, that's
yours. Take it and put it in your stuff.
Oh yeah, this is my. Yeah, I will because this is a treasure. And okay. Well, anyhow, Aunt Enos, when she, as I said before, so she would come to the house when Michael was just a little guy, and then we became very, very close.
So what year was that? What time?
Not when
48. When you were
48. Michael was born in 49.
Yeah. So that was before the war.
Oh yes.
No.
49 is after.
49 was after. Okay. I thought
46
I met my husband to be when I was a USO hostess, and he was from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
You must have been a good dancer.
He was a wonderful.
No, you
man.
must have been.
Well, he and I never stopped dancing. We just never stopped dancing. He was dear, dear man. And so anyhow, but I wanted to see if I had any pictures. So I searched and searched and searched. And this is what I came up with, the only thing I have. And I have one here for each one of you gals. So I'll pass them around here. Now, I did not identify all of them, but Jan knows who they are. So here, Aunt Enos is on the end here.
On the right-hand side is Aunt Enos.
And I told Jan...
Why don't you go ahead and tell them who the other people are, too.
Okay. This, on the left-hand side, is Uncle Mike's...
No. I think it's just our generation. Give one to John, one to Allison, and one to Marcy.
So which
Mike,
one's Aunt Inez?
Give that to Marcy.
Which one's Aunt Inez?
Oh, she's on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
With the black coat on and a dress underneath?
And I took this picture.
Spelled I-N-E-S.
Yes.
Inez.
Inez, kind of.
Okay.
And this
No, one
picture was taken in front of my mom and dad's home which is now Chorrell Street. So and then my mom, and then Aunt Enos, and then the lady laying on the lawn is a first cousin of mine, and all these people are gone. Margaret was born and raised in San Simeon.
And that was a Via on the ground.
She was a Via. She was Uncle Alicia's. So here, Jan, there was one. And then what I wanted to do, I wanted a picture of Aunt Enos, so I went over to UPS and I had a young man who wasn't very proficient. So he did I said, I want the lady on the end only. So it's a little bit too dark, but I'm still going to give each one of you, there are 5 of them here. But I suggested to Jan that if she wanted to, she could take this to a good photographer.
I got a good photographer right there.
Yeah, somewhere. And have them take this picture of Aunt Enos, lighten the background, and maybe just have a top of her, because this picture, as I look at it, looks just
That's how I
like
remember her.
I knew her.
Yeah.
Just like I knew her. Now, this one is lovely, but this one looks like Aunt Enos. So, there are 5 of them here, and I think that's...
She looked pretty skinny, like she
was.
Well, she was never fat. But I was always so pleased that she was very comfortable coming to Bill's and my home. We loved having her.
Yeah, I like the hair. That's the way Dad's hair lightened too.
What was that?
The gray in her hair. The
the
gray
way
shade
Dad-
black.
Oh yes,
gray.
oh yeah. Never put any color on it at all.
No, but I'm saying, I think Dad did the same thing where he started going gray and then he was black just here. It's like almost the same way that Dad went gray.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
And now Aunt Enos and Lloyd was so wonderful to his mother. He was wonderful to his mother. No question about that.
Yeah, she drove home with them on the honeymoon, back from the wedding.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And then when he was in the Navy overseas in the Pacific, and he was a very good what do you call it?
Poker player?
Right?
Shuffleboard?
No, the little tiny ball that you
Ping
play.
pong.
Ping pong, yeah. And he would win, and that would entitle him for a phone call, long distance phone call, and he would call Aunt Enos. He would call her.
I'm sure that thrilled her.
Yeah, he would call her. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dad was not as close with his brother.
No, small wonder why.
And what do you think?
Because Irvin was a rascal.
Okay.
So
Thank you for telling the truth.
Is that from the beginning, or is it something, because, did it gradually get worse? Or,
I
when they're...
kind of asked him that question. He said he'd always been that way.
Did any of you know Irvin?
No.
I met him once.
Did you?
I
Once.
met him once.
Where
And,
was that?
San Diego, when he lived in San Diego. So the first time I meet my uncle, we invite him to go to lunch. And he says to me, I have to take care of an important charity. And he goes, myself.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how typical.
He was going to the bank. He wouldn't spend half an hour
Typical.
with his niece he'd never met.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wondered if it gotten worse over the years. It was always a problem.
Well, he and I always got along very, very well. It's the family gathering which was our common interest, really and truly. And Irvin, of course, he was a well-known Greyhound bus driver.
Yeah.
He was a charter. And when basketball players or football players or musicians would run a charter trip, he took them on.
He took celebrities?
He took them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But he was not Lloyd.
No. But he also didn't like what happened when he went away from service and how he didn't take care of the mother. Dad kind of said there was some problems when he was away. Irvin was supposed to be taking care of his mom and the farm.
Oh.
Urban,
Because he came back
No.
with a lot of stuff missing from the farm. From the war.
that
Sounds
sounds,
familiar?
I don't know, but that sounds typical,
Yeah.
possibly.
So, do you know what Irvin did during the war? Did he go and work on the Alaskan Highway?
Yes,
Okay.
with his brother-in-law on his wife's side.
They
That
were up
is
working
true.
on the Alaskan Highway. Okay.
Mhm,
During the war.
mhm,
What war? World War II.
mhm.
Dad went to, Grandpa went to the Pacific to become an airplane mechanic. And then usually what happened in, if there was a woman whose husband had died, they wouldn't send both sons off to war. Because if both sons died in war, there'd be nobody home to take care of the mothers, you know. So one son was always sent to combat, and one son stayed home and did something else for the war. So Irwin built highways and Grandpa went off to the Navy. So it was very common for that to happen. They wouldn't send them all off.
And you see, and music played quite a big role in the VF. They were all quite talented.
Well, Dad always said the only way he got out of high school was that he got an A in band.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. They could.
So Irving played the musical instrument. He
Oh
was in
yes, he
band
was
also.
talented.
He was in a mariachi band for years.
Yeah, that's right.
Until he got lung cancer.
That is correct.
He had to give up the
So,
I guess.
That is right.
and they were artistic.
Yeah, they're clever, and they.
And Maria's inherited some of that artistic. She's very
The
artistic.
music lost this generation, I think. Nobody plays the instrument. We
Except for
don't.
Aaron.
Really?
Aaron.
Daniel
Aaron plays
plays
it.
well.
Yeah.
Well, I think Joan's talking us girls.
The
Us
five, yeah.
girls, yeah, no music there.
Really?
None of us. Yeah.
But you have an interest, though.
I love listening to music. Love it. But
Mary Lynn can sing pretty well. She can carry a tune real well, and she has a good ear.
And
for
actually,
music.
she was interested in the guitar. a long time. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? Well, if we're not, we kind of worked that subject.
Yeah.
Mike and Enos and how happy married they were.
Well, they really and truly were. There's just no ifs, buts, or ands about that. And Aunt Enos was not the kind of person to complain. Now, Uncle Mike, having been, considerably older than she, I did not know him that well because, there's quite a few years difference between my father and him.
Yeah.
Now, what was the age